Please be seated. Good evening to you. It's good to see you here. We have an invitation this evening to enter into a Holy Lent. Ash Wednesday is this day when we come together to plan for what's going to come in the next 40 days, to enter into a wilderness journey where we're invited to a space of transformation. We hear in our readings a few cautionary notes about the fasts that we keep. It's always interesting to me, the gospel that goes with Ash Wednesday, as we come to put ashes on our foreheads and then are cautioned not to make a show of our piety. But I think that's just the point. If the only reason we're here is to get an ash cross on our heads, then we're not here for the right reasons. Our faith teaches us something. We're invited into this time as a time of reflection, as a time of looking at the new ways that God has called us over the past season of Epiphany or since the new year, to live into those new callings, to find our way together as a community into a space of grace and mutual support where we can be strong together. We hear those words echoed in Isaiah's words to his people as he admonishes them for the fast that God does not intend, where they lament their fast, where they put on sackcloth and go out bemoaning the fact that they're fasting so that others know, where they don't keep justice. As he says, it is a fast for to benefit yourselves. And the fast that we're encouraged to take up is a fast where we help to loose the bonds of injustice, where we help to feed those who are hungry, draw in those who are outcast, lift up those who are downtrodden. There are a lot of people who are suffering in our world right now, a lot of people who are frightened, a lot of people who have lost their jobs, a lot of people who are worried. And part of what we get to do as a Christian community is to help, to reach out, to acknowledge people. There is no one we meet in this world who is not a beloved child of God. And that is a challenge to us as we go out into our world that is sometimes seems indifferent, sometimes cruel. We are encouraged to respond not only in love, but with the grace to speak to those we meet and find out what's troubling them, what it is that makes them feel cruel or indifferent, to help awaken them to new perspective and possibility by loving with God's love, reaching out with God's forgiveness and compassion, helping every person we meet and see to know that they matter, that they have a place in this world, that they are loved. We hear in our gospel so many of the ways that we encounter those in the world as clashing gongs, those who are making noise just to be heard. And we're called to a season in which we get to respond out of compassion. We're called into a season in which we get to walk a wilderness journey together that helps us to examine what kind of fast we keep, how we are living God's light in our world, and what it means to us. This is a season of liminal spaces a season of possibilities. It's not a season where we go out into the street saying, "Oh, I've given up so much for Lent." But a season when we get to take on something new, or give up something not that brings us joy, but that brings us harm. Giving up something for Lent is intended to be a practice of setting down those things that take us away from God, that take us out of relationship, or taking on something new that brings us joy, that brings us closer to each other and closer to God. It isn't a season to see who can give up the most, or who can suffer the most because they've given up chocolate or caffeine. It's an opportunity to find blessing and grace, to find a reminder that we are called to be Christ's hands and heart in a world that is hurting for love and compassion, for grace. We are called into that liminal space of transformation that I hope, if we do it right, will continue on beyond Lent, into that season of resurrection and new life, where we continue those practices, where we continue to find new light and new life in our lives beyond the season of wilderness wandering. And so this Ash Wednesday, I don't invite you into a Lent of struggle, or a Lent of pining, or a Lent of sackcloth and ashes, but a Lent of transformation, a Lent of journey that brings you new life and that brings life through you into our world. And so I'll say to you tonight, happy Ash Wednesday and happy Lent. Amen.